Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're taking a look at something that, well, seems like basic English learning on the surface, but we're going deeper. We want to unpack how you can use these ideas to talk about your entire personal world in English. Think about it, your daily routine, how you relax those amazing trips you've taken or plan to take. It's all within reach. Okay, let's get into it.
Absolutely. And what's really fascinating, I think, is how these basic building blocks, the words for routines, for travel, they aren't just lists to memorize. They actually form the foundation for expressing who you are, your identity, your experiences. So we're not just looking at what words to use, but sort of why focusing on these areas gives you a shortcut to being truly articulate about your own life in English. It's really about empowering you to tell your own story authentically.
Exactly. Our mission today is not just to give you vocabulary lists. You probably know a lot of these words already. It's more about those essential nuggets, maybe the phrases, the structures,
Yeah.
that let you describe your day, your free time, your travels with real depth. You'll see how digging into these practical areas helps you not just, learn English, but actually live in it.
Mm.
Right, let's kick off with the absolute fundamentals, your daily routine. It's the story you live out every single day. The material we looked at breaks it down really simply. First up, the morning. Things like wake up, get up, brush my teeth, wash my face, take a shower, have breakfast. You know the drill. Go to work, go to school. These are the actions that really launch your day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if we connect that to the bigger picture, it's about understanding the sequence, right? Building those short, complete sentences. The materials emphasize patterns like I wake up at 7 o'clock or I brush my teeth after waking up. Simple stuff like I take a shower in the morning. But that basic structure, subject, verb, maybe time or place, it's fundamental for clarity. It's the bedrock.
Exactly. And then, day moves on, afternoon, evening. Again, simple but powerful actions. Have lunch, come home, take a rest, maybe cook dinner, have a dinner, watch TV, read a book, go to bed. It's pretty easy to see how these slot into sentences. I have lunch around 1, or usually go to bed about 10.
Right. But this brings up an important point, doesn't it? Beyond just the things we have to do, how do we talk about what actually recharges us? Our sources highlight this well under free time and hobbies. This is where your personality really starts to come through.
Ah, yes. This is where it gets really interesting, I think. Because our free time, our hobbies, that's what makes us. Well, us, think about verbs like listen to music, play games, exercise, go shopping, meet friends, travel, play sports, even learn English. These aren't just vocabulary items. They're like gateways to expressing who you really are. The sources even provide a little example, a mini conversation. One person wakes up at 7, does the teeth, breakfast, school routine, but then adds that they meet friends and go shopping on weekends. That's the personal touch. The other person wakes at 6:30, work at 9, and then after work, they usually watch TV or read a book. See that usually. That little word adds so much.
That's the key insight right there. It's how these vocabulary sets combine with those really useful expressions. Phrases like, I usually, I sometimes, I never, or on weekends, in my free time, I. These let you add nuance, describe your habits accurately. It's the difference between I eat breakfast and I usually eat breakfast around 8, or I play football versus I sometimes play football in the evening. These are the tools for, detailed self-description, giving your story texture.
Okay, great. So let's zoom out a bit now. From the daily grind, let's talk about something maybe a bit more exciting for many of us. Travel and vacations. This is another huge area for expressing ourselves, sharing experiences, telling stories.
Absolutely. And connecting this back, talking about travel nearly always means talking about the past, right? Recalling things. So the material we looked at cleverly guides us from talking about present routines into past adventures. And the key there is mastering the past tense. It seems basic, but using it naturally to tell a story is a big step.
Yeah, it really is. Remembering that trip, telling someone about it. You need basic words, of course. Airport, flight, hotel, ticket, passport, luggage, taxi, train station, beach, museum, your travel toolkit. And then actually using them, I need my passport to travel, or erg, my luggage is so heavy.
Mm-hmm. But the crucial insight, as you said, is that shift to the past tense for describing what you actually did. The examples provided are good. I went to London last year, I visited the museum, I traveled by train. Simple past. And you contrast that with the present tense for preferences or future plans. I like traveling, or I want to visit Paris. Getting that tense shift right, using it smoothly, that unlocks a whole new level of conversation about your experiences.
Totally. And the sources gave that little glimpse of a trip, didn't they? Someone went to Turkey last summer. They flew from London to Istanbul, visited the Blue Mosque, and went shopping in the Grand Bazaar. It paints a surprisingly vivid picture, just using those simple past verbs effectively. It shows you don't need super complex language sometimes.
Exactly. And then to make those travel stories even richer, you layer in useful phrases. Think about practical questions on the ground. Where is the hotel? Or how much is a ticket? But also, maybe more importantly, expressing your feelings about it. Phrases like, the food is delicious, or wow, the city is beautiful, or even just, I'm having a great time. These phrases are like your passport to really engaging while you're traveling and sharing that engagement later.
So, okay, we've covered daily life, free time, travel. What does all this really mean for you, our listener? It means you've got the tools now, the vocabulary, the structures. You can start describing your whole world in English, from that first cup of coffee in the morning to dreaming about your next big trip. It really just comes down to practice, doesn't it?
Precisely. That's the consistent message, really. Both sets of materials we looked at emphasize the power of active engagement. They actually prompt you to answer questions out loud, even if you're just talking to yourself. It feels weird at first, maybe, but it works. Think about those direct questions. What time do you wake up? What do you usually do in the evening? What about weekends?
Yeah, or the travel ones.
Right. Where did you go on your last vacation? How do you travel? What did you do there? Answering these forces you to use the language.
It's all about making it personal. Like those listening challenges mentioned in the material. You hear someone's routine: wake at 7, brush teeth, shower, school, homework, music, bed at 10, and then you try to recall the details. Or you hear about a trip, say, to Thailand. Traveled by plane, stayed near the beach, visited temples, ate amazing food, swam every day. Remembering those details helps lock in the patterns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These exercises aren't just about checking if you understood. They're designed to help you internalize those patterns, to make them feel natural. And the speaking practice encourages you to create your own sentences about your real life, your real trips. That's crucial. Even that short, simple cafe role play, ordering tea, a sandwich, water, it shows how these building blocks work in everyday practical situations. It's about using the language, not just knowing it.
So we've taken quite a deep dive today, I think,
Yeah.
into the power of describing routines, free time, travel, all in English.
Mm.
You've seen how relatively simple words and sentence structures can unlock this amazing ability to share your personal story.
Mm-hmm. And the core takeaway, really, from everything we looked at is just practice, practice, practice. Seriously, even just 10 minutes a day, talking through your day in English, recalling a trip, it can make a huge difference to your fluency, which kind of raises an interesting final question for you, the listener.
Yeah. What aspect of your own day, or maybe which memory from a past journey, are you going to try and articulate in English first? Maybe think about this. How might just thinking about that experience, describing it in another language, actually change how you see it yourself? Something to ponder. Keep exploring, keep practicing, and keep telling your unique story.